Welcome to ESLPod.com's A Day in the Life of Jeff, Part 8, Making Dinner, Eating Dinner, and Washing Up. Welcome to ESLPod.com, A Day in the Life of Jeff,
A Day in the Life of Jeff,
Part 8,
Part 8,
Making Dinner,
Making Dinner,
Eating Dinner,
Eating Dinner,
and Washing Up.
and Washing Up.
I'm your host, Dr.
I'm your host,
Jeff McQuillan,
Dr. Jeff McQuillan,
from the Center for Educational Development,
from the Center for Educational Development
in beautiful Los Angeles,
in beautiful Los Angeles,
California.
California.
In Part 7,
In Part 7,
of this series,
of this series,
we drove home
we drove home
and we ran
and we ran
some errands.
some errands.
In this part,
In this part,
I'm going to make dinner,
I'm going to make dinner,
which should be very
which should be very
interesting
interesting
since I am a
since I am
terrible cook.
a terrible cook.
Let's get started.
Let's get started.
When I get home,
When I get home,
I start on dinner
I start on dinner
right away.
right away.
I clean off the
I clean up
kitchen counter
the kitchen counter
after putting away
after putting away
the groceries
the groceries
and decide
and
to
decide
make pasta.
to make pasta.
I preheat
I preheat
the oven
the oven
to 375
to 375
to bake the bread
to bake a bread
and to heat the chicken
and to keep the chicken
hot
hot
until my wife
until my wife
gets home.
gets home.
I put some water
I put some water
in a pan
in a pan
and turn the burner
and turn the burner
on high.
on high.
When the water
When the water starts
starts boiling,
boiling,
I put in the pasta
I put in the pasta
and decide to make a
and decide to make
salad.
a salad.
Just then,
Just then,
my wife opens the
my wife opens
back door
the back door
and yells,
and yells,
"I'm home."
"I'm home."
She comes into the kitchen
She comes into the kitchen
and helps with chopping
and helps with chopping
the tomatoes
the tomato
to add to the sauce.
to add to the sauce.
She stirs the
She stirs
sauce
the sauce
until it's done,
until it is done
while I finish
while I finish
tossing
tossing
the salad.
the salad.
I get out the
I get out the plate,
placemats,
mats,
napkins
and napkins
to set the table.
to set the table.
I also make sure
I also make sure
that there is
that there is
a spoon,
a spoon,
knife,
fork,
and plate
and plate
for each of us.
for each of us.
About 15 minutes later,
About 15 minutes later,
here, we sit down at
we sit down
the table
at the table. At the table
in the dining room
in the dining room
and talk about
and talk about
our long day.
our long day.
My wife says
My wife says
she'll do the
she'll
dishes
do the dishes
since I cooked.
since I cook.
But of course,
I
help out
help out
by drying them.
by Brian Bell.
First,
First,
I put some of the leftovers
I put some of the leftovers
in a Tupperware
in a Tupperware
container
container
and some in plastic wrap,
and some in plastic wrap
and the rest
and the rest
in aluminum foil.
in aluminum foil.
Then I dry the
Then I dry the pans,
pans, plates,
plates,
glasses,
glasses,
and silverware.
and silverware.
In this episode,
In this episode,
we are making dinner
we are making dinner
at the beginning.
at the beginning.
When I get home,
When I get home,
I start on dinner
I start on dinner
right away.
right away.
Once again, we
Once again, we are
have one of those
one of the
two-word verbs
two words
in English.
in
I
English.
start on dinner.
I start on dinner.
That means I begin
That means I begin
to prepare
to prepare
dinner.
dinner.
So I start on dinner
So I start on dinner
right away.
right away.
I clean off
I clean up
kitchen
the
counter
kitchen counter
after putting away the groceries.
after putting away the groceries.
The kitchen counter,
The kitchen counter,
C-O-U
COUNTER
N-T-E-R, is the place in your
is the brain lay in your kitchen
where you have a
where you have
long,
a long
flat
flat
top or board
top or board
where you can prepare food
where you can prepare food
and you can put things
and you can put things
on.
on.
It's like a table almost.
It's like a table almost. Yes, sir.
Để vô trong mail của mẹ mày coi chứ.
But usually in the kitchen,
But usually in the kitchen.
Cháu chồng.
Lên. Yep.
Cái này chữ O phải không?
Ừ.
Nè,
Chữ số 0 bự mà.
này mới số 0 mà.
Chữ 0 chữ O phải bự.
Đây nè, mày cho mày coi nè.
Đây.
Cho mày mượn máy này đó.
You have cabinets
You have cabinet
or cupboards
or cupboards
where you store things.
where you store things.
And on top,
And on top,
you have a counter.
you have a counter.
A counter is
A counter is
general word
a general
that
word that refers
to the top of
to the top of something.
something. Usually somewhere
Usually somewhere
where you do something
where you do something
on top of it.
on top of it.
In this case,
The
kitchen counter
the kitchen counter
is where you prepare
is where you prepare
food.
food.
Well, I clean off the
Well, I clean up
kitchen counter
the kitchen counter
after I put away
after I put away
the groceries.
the groceries.
The groceries,
The groceries.
G-R-O-C-E-R
G-R-O-C-E-R
I-E-S,
I-E-S
plural,
plural
are the food
are the food
that I buy at
that I buy at
the market.
the market.
We sometimes call
We sometimes call
a supermarket
a supermarket
a grocery store,
a grocery store.
a place where you buy
I like that you buy groceries,
buy food that you bring
buy food that you bring
home and prepare
home and prepare
and eat at home.
and eat at home.
I decided to make pasta,
I decide to make pasta,
so I preheat the
so I preheat
oven
the oven
to 375
to 375
to preheat
to reheat
P-R-E-H-E-A-T
P-R-E-H-E-A-T
really means the same
really means the same
here as to heat.
here as to heat.
But if you look at
But if you look at
the instructions for making food,
the instructions
food,
for making food,
what we would call the recipe,
what we would call the G
R-E-C-I-P,
R-E-C-I-P-E,
the recipe for
the recipe
making food,
for making food.
usually it begins
Usually it begins
if you are going to be cooking something
if you are going to cook something
in
cooking something
the oven
in the oven
by telling you
to reheat
the oven.
reheat the oven.
That just means to turn it on
That should means to turn it on
so that when you are ready,
so that when you are ready,
when it is hot,
when it is hot,
you can put the food in
you can put the food in
to cook.
to cook.
P-R-E
P-R-E
means before or to do
means before or to do
something before.
something before.
So I preheat
So I preheat
the oven
the oven
375.
to 375.
In other words,
In other words,
375
375 degrees
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
I preheat
I preheat it
because I want to
because I want
bake the bread
to bake the bread
and keep the chicken hot
and keep the chicken hot
until my wife
gets home
to bake.
to bake.
B-A-K-E
Bake
is to cook something,
is to cook something,
usually in an oven.
usually in an oven.
So I open the oven
So I open
door.
the oven door.
I put in the bread.
I put in the bread.
I put in the chicken,
I put in the chicken
and then I close it.
and then I close the door.
My wife is going to be home
My
late,
wife
so
is going to be home late,
I want to keep the chicken
so I
hot.
want to keep
I want to make sure that
the chicken hot. I want the chicken hot. I want to make sure
it stays hot.
that it stays hot.
I put some water
I put some the water
in a pan.
in a pan.
A pan is what you use to cook something. Look at the average temperature is 212
212
degrees Fahrenheit
Fahrenheit
or 100 degrees Celsius
Celsius
in order to boil water.
or to boil.
Well,
water.
when the water starts boiling, when it starts to
That
make bubbles because it
bubble because
is very hot,
it is very hot.
I put in the pasta.
I put in the pasta.
I take the pasta,
I take the pasta
noodles,
noodle,
Noodles,
Noodles,
the little pieces of
a little piece
pasta.
of
We
pasta.
call those noodles.
We call those noodles,
And I put them into the boiling
and I put them into the boiling
water
water
so they can cook.
so they can cook. So they can cook.
Then I decide I want to make a
Then I decide I want
salad
to make the salad
because I'm very hungry.
because I'm very hungry.
Well, just as I
Well, just as
decide to make
I decide to
a
make
salad,
the salad,
just then
just then
my wife opens the back
my wife opened the back
door.
door.
Just then,
Just then,
that expression means at that time, at that same
that expression means at that time.
My wife opens
At that sometime,
the back door,
sometime, my wife opens the back door,
the door to the house, and
the door to the house
back.
in the back.
The opposite would be
The opposite would be
the front door.
the front door.
She yells, "I'm home."
She yells, "I'm home."
That's what you would say
That's what you would say
when you come home
when you come home
to someone who is already
to someone who is already
there. You would say, "I'm home."
there. You would say, "I'm home."
Home. You wouldn't say, "I've
You would say,
arrived,"
"I arrived,"
or "I'm here."
or "I'm here."
You would say,
You would say,
"I'm home."
"I'm home."
My wife comes into the kitchen
My wife comes into the kitchen
and helps
and helps
me chop the tomato.
me chop the tomatoes.
To chop,
To chop,
CHOP,
CAUP,
means to cut something
means to cut something into small pieces.
small pieces. We chop tomatoes.
We chop tomatoes.
We make them into
We make them into
smaller pieces,
smaller pieces
and we add them
and we add
to
them,
the pasta
them to the pasta
sauce.
sauce.
That's the red
That's the red
liquid
liquid
that we're going to put over
that we are going to put
the pasta.
over the pasta.
My wife stirs the sauce
My wife stirs the sauce
until it's done.
until it's done.
To stir,
To stir,
S-T-I-R,
STIR,
when you are cooking,
when you are cooking,
means to take a
means to take
spoon and put it into the
a spoon and put it into
pan
the pan
and move the spoon
and move the spoon
back and forth
back and forth
so that you are mixing
so that you are
what is in the pan.
mixing what is in the pan.
So my wife is stirring
So my wife is stirring
the sauce,
the sauce,
the pasta sauce,
the pasta sauce,
the tomato sauce,
the tomato sauce
until it's done,
until it's done,
until it is ready,
until it is ready,
until it is cooked.
until it is cooked.
While I
While I
finish tossing
tossing
the salad.
the salad,
So she is stirring the
so she is stirring
sauce, and at
the sauce,
the same time,
and at the same time,
I am finishing
I am finishing
the salad.
the salad,
And I finish by tossing it.
and I finish by tossing it.
To toss,
To toss,
T-O-S-S,
TOSS,
a salad, means
the salad means
to mix the
to mix the salad
salad together.
together.
In a salad, you
In a salad,
often have
you often have
lettuce,
lettuce
maybe tomatoes,
and maybe tomatoes,
other food, other
other food,
vegetables,
other vegetables,
and you want to mix them
and you want to mix
together.
them together.
Often you put in a salad
Often you put in a salad
dressing,
dressing,
D-R-E-S-S-I-N,
DRESSING.
G. Salad dressing is a liquid
Salad dressing is a liquid,
often made from some oil
often made from some oil
that gives a better taste
that gives a better taste
to your salad.
to give salad.
So you toss the salad
So you toss the salad
in order to mix
in order to mix
everything up.
everything up.
That verb to toss
That verb to toss
can also mean to throw.
can also mean to throw,
Usually to throw something
usually to throw something
to someone else.
to someone else.
Someone may say, toss
Someone may say toss
me that pen.
me that pen.
They mean throw me that
They mean throw
pen.
me that pen.
Well, I am tossing the salad
Well, I am tossing the salad
here, mixing it up.
here, mixing it up.
I get out the place
I get out the plate,
mats
mask,
and napkins
and napkins
to set the table.
to set the table.
The place,
The plate,
P-L-A-T-E,
PLACE,
mats,
mats,
M-A-T-S,
MATS,
are things that you put
are things that you put
underneath
underneath
the plate
the plate
and the spoon,
and the spoon,
fork, and knife.
fork, and knife.
so that the table doesn't
so that the table
get dirty.
doesn't get dirty.
We call those placemats.
We call them like
They
mats.
can be plastic.
They can be plastic.
They can be made out of
They can be made out of
cloth,
large or big,
and they are used to
and they are used
protect your
to rotate
table.
your table.
So I get out the placemats and the napkins
So I get out the play mats
to set the table.
and the napkins to set the table.
A napkin,
A napkin,
N-A-P-K-I-N,
K-I-N,
is like a little towel
is the little towel
that you use
that you use
in case you need to wipe
in case you need to wipe
your face while
your face
you are eating.
while you are eating.
You can use your napkin.
You can use your napkin,
And it's common in
and it's common
American
in American
restaurants
restaurants
and in houses
and in house
for people to put the napkin
for people to put a napkin
on their legs
on their legs
while they are sitting on the
while they are sitting
top of their legs,
on the top of their legs,
which we would call
which we would call
the lap.
the lap.
On your lap,
On your lap,
L-A-P. You
L-A-P.
put the napkin what,
You put the napkin
while you are eating.
while you are eating.
To set,
To set,
S-E-T,
S-E-T,
the table, means
the table means
to put all of the things
to put all of the things
that you need
on the table,
on the table. Plates,
like
spoons, knives,
spoon, knives,
forks,
forks,
and so forth.
and so forth.
That is to set the table,
That is to set the
to
table,
make the table ready
to make the table ready
so you can eat.
so you can eat.
About 15
minutes after
after I set the table,
I set the table,
my wife and I sit at the table.
sit at the table.
We sit down at
We sit down
the table
at the table
in the dining room
in the dining room
and talk about
our
long day.
long day.
The dining room,
The dining room,
D-I-N-I-N-G,
D-I-N-I-N-G,
is the place where you
is a place where you
eat, to dine, as a verb,
as a verb,
D-I-N-E,
D-I-N-E,
means to eat.
means to eat.
So the dining room is
So the dining room
the room in your house where you
is the room in your house
eat your meal.
where you eat your meals.
My wife and I talk
Why? And I talk
about our long
day.
day, meaning we had
Meaning we had
things happen today,
many things happen. Nó nghe tới. Happen today.
and maybe we are very tired.
And maybe we are very tired.
So we had a long day.
So we had a long day.
My wife says that
My wife said
she'll do the dishes.
that she'll do the dishes.
To do the dishes
To do the dishes
means the same as
means the same as
to wash
to wash
the dishes.
the dishes.
My wife offers to do the
My wife offers
dishes
to do the dishes
because I cook.
because I cook.
But of course, since
But of course,
I am a
I am
wonderful husband,
a wonderful husband.
I help out
I help out
by drying
by drying
the dishes. To help out
the dishes. To help out
means the same
means the same
here as to help.
same here as to help.
But if we are talking about
But if we are talking about
helping another person,
helping another cook,
do something,
to do something,
maybe something that
maybe something that
we don't have to do,
we don't have to do,
but we want to be nice,
but we want to be nice,
we would say we
we would say
help them out.
we help them out.
So I help my wife out
So I help my wife out
by drying the dishes.
by drying the dishes.
First,
First,
I have to put some of the
I have to put some of the
leftovers
leftovers
in a Tupperware
in a Tupperware
container.
container.
Leftovers,
Leftovers,
Left
Left
Overs,
Overs,
all one word,
all one word,
is extra food,
extra food,
food that you did not eat
food that you did not eat
at the end of your dinner,
at the end of your dinner,
at the end of your meal.
at the end of your meal.
If you want to keep some of
If you want to keep
that food,
some of that food,
we call it leftovers.
we call it leftovers.
And in this case,
And in this case,
I'm going to put the leftovers
mm,
into a
into a small
plastic box
plastic box
that has a top on it.
that has a top on it.
We call that kind of little box
We call that kind of little
that contains
box a container.
CON
CON
TAINER.
TAINER.
We usually refer to these plastic
to their plastic
boxes that we
box that
put food in
we put food in
as Tupperware
containers.
Tupperware,
Tupperwares,
capital T
TUPPER,
U P P E R WARE, is actually a company
a company
that makes these small
that makes their small plastic
containers
for food.
Even if you don't have
Even if you don't have
a
container
made by that company,
company,
many people
just call it
my Tupperware.
Tupperware,
The Tupperware container.
the Tupperware containers.
That means the plastic boxes that you can put
box that you can put food into.
Well, some of the food I put in a plastic wrap. a plastic wrap,
A plastic wrap.
W-R-A-P,
W-R-A-P
is a thin,
is a thin,
clear piece of
clear piece of
plastic
plastic
that I put food
that I put food
into,
into,
and we call it a wrap
and we call it a wrap.
W-R-A-P,
W-R-A-P
because we put it
because we put it
around
around sometimes.
to wrap something
To
is to
wrap something
put something
is to put something around
around it, usually to
it, usually
keep it cold,
to keep it cold
or to keep it warm,
or to keep it warm. Or to keep it warm
or to keep it fresh.
or keep it fresh.
When we are talking about
When we are talking about
food,
food,
we use that same word
we use that same word
for wrap,
wrap
for putting paper
for putting paper
around a present or
around a present
a gift that you
or a gift that
are giving someone.
you are giving someone.
The paper is called
The paper is called
wrapping paper.
wrapping paper.
You can also put food in
You can also put food
aluminum
in aluminum
foil.
foil.
Aluminum,
Aluminum,
A-L-U-M
A-L-U-M
I-N-U-M,
I-N-U-M
is a kind of metal.
is a kind of metal.
It's usually a
It's usually
silver color.
a silver color.
Foil,
Foil,
F-O-I-L,
F-O-I-L,
is like a plastic
is like a plastic
wrap,
wrap,
it's made from
but it's made
aluminum.
from aluminum.
It's like a long,
It's a line. It's like
on flat
it's like a long flat
sheet
sheet
that you can put around
that you can put around
something
something
to keep the food
to keep the food
in your refrigerator
in your refrigerator
or in your freezer,
or in your freezer,
where you have even
where you have even
colder temperature.
colder temperature.
At the end of the story, I dry
At the end of the story, I write
the pans,
the pans,
the plates,
the plates,
the glasses,
the glasses,
and the silverware.
and the silverware.
The silverware,
The silverware,
remember,
remember,
is the spoon,
is the spoon,
knife,
knife, fork,
fork that you use when you eat.
fork that you use
Now let's listen to the
when you eat. Now let's listen to the story.
story, this time at a regular speed.
This time at regular speed.
When I get home,
When I get
I
home,
start on dinner right
I stop on dinner right away.
away. I clean off the kitchen
I clean up the kitchen counter
counter after putting away the groceries
after putting away the grocery
and decide to make pasta.
and decide to make pasta.
I preheat the oven
I preheat the oven
to 375
to 375
to bake bread
to bake a bread
and to keep the chicken hot
and to keep the chicken hot
until my wife gets home.
until my wife gets home.
I put some water in a pan
I put some water
and turn
in the pan
the burner on
and turn the burner
high.
on.
When the water starts boiling,
When the water stops boiling,
I put in the pasta
I put in the pasta
and decide to make a salad.
and decide to make a salad.
Just then,
Just then,
my wife opens the back
my wife opens
door and yells,
the back door
I'm
and yells,
home. She comes into the
I'm home. She comes into the kitchen
kitchen and helps with chopping the
and helps with chopping
tomatoes to
the tomato
add to sauce.
to add to the sauce.
She stirs the sauce
She stirs
until it's done,
the sauce until it's done.
while I finish
While finished
tossing the salad.
tossing the salad,
I get out the placemat
I get out the plate mats
and napkins to
and napkins
set the table.
to set the table.
I also make sure that there
I also make sure
is a spoon, knife,
that there is a spoon,
fork,
a knife, fork,
and plate for each
and plate for each
of us.
of us.
About 15 minutes later,
About 15 minutes later,
we sit down at the table
we sit down at the table
in the dining room
in the dining room
and talk about our long
and talk about our
day.
long day.
My wife says she'll do the
My wife says she'll
dishes since
do the dishes,
I cook. But
side I cook,
of course, I help out by
but of course I help out
drying them.
by drying them.
First, I
First,
put some of the leftovers
I put some of the leftovers
in a Tupperware container
in a Tupperware container
and some in plastic
and some in plastic
wrap, and the rest
wrap and the rest
in aluminum foil.
in aluminum foil.
Then I dry the pans,
Then I dry the pans,
plates, glasses,
like glasses
and silverware.
and silverware.
That concludes part 8 of
That concludes part 8
the day in the life of Jeff.
of A Day in the Life of Jeff.
In part 9,
In part 9,
we'll talk about
we'll talk about
relaxing,
relaxing,
looking at your mail,
looking at your mail,
and taking out the trash.
and taking up the chart.
This course has been a production of the
This course has been a production
Center for Educational Development
of the Center for Educational Development
in beautiful Los Angeles,
in beautiful Los Angeles,
California.
California.
Visit our website
At your website,
at eslpod.com.
ESOPOT.com.
This course was produced by Dr.
This course was produced by
Jeff McQuillan
Dr. Jeffrey Quillen
and Dr. Lucy Say.
and Dr. Lucy Say.
Copyright
Copyright
2006.
2006.